Have you ever felt that life has already decided who you are? That the road behind you is longer than the road ahead, and change belongs only to the young? Many people carry this quiet belief, waking each day with it resting heavily in their hearts. This is a reflection about time, about regret, and about the courage to begin again. Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. He was just a man living at the edge of a small village, where the paths were worn smooth by many years of footsteps. Each morning he rose before the sun, not because he wished to, but because his body had learned the habit. He tied his old shoes, stepped outside, and greeted the day with a sigh he no longer questioned. His hands were strong and skilled. In a quiet wooden workshop, he repaired tools for the villagers. He fixed what was broken, sharpened what had grown dull, and returned each item without a word. People respected his work, but few knew him beyond that. When the door closed behind him each evening, silence filled the space where purpose should have been. Inside him lived a single thought, repeated so often it felt like truth. It is too late. Too late to change. Too late to begin again. He had carried this belief for many years, letting it shape his days. When younger men spoke of hopes and plans, he listened politely and smiled, though something tightened in his chest. He remembered when such thoughts had once been his own, before fear and routine slowly buried them. Every evening he walked the same path home, past the same trees and stones. The sun often painted the fields in soft colors, but he rarely noticed. He believed beauty was meant for those who still had time, not for someone like him. One afternoon, as he crossed the old bridge by the river, he saw a young boy struggling to lift a heavy basket of firewood. The man slowed his steps. His body was tired and his hands ached. He told himself to keep walking, but something held him there. The boy did not complain. He adjusted his grip and tried again. Without speaking, the man stepped forward, lifted the basket, and carried it to his home. It was a small effort, hardly worth remembering, yet when the boy smiled and thanked him, the man felt a warmth he had not felt in a long time. It surprised him how light his chest felt as he walked away. That night, sleep did not come easily. His thoughts returned to that brief moment. He wondered when he had decided his actions no longer mattered. He wondered how many moments like that he had walked past. The next morning, instead of opening his workshop at once, he sat outside and watched the light move across the fields. The village woke slowly around him. For the first time in years, he did not rush. He simply allowed himself to be present. When he finally worked that day, he did so with care. He repaired a farmer's plow, taking time to explain what he was doing. The farmer listened closely. As the man spoke, he realized how much knowledge he had kept to himself, believing it no longer had value. Small changes followed. He woke earlier, not to work, but to walk by the river. He cleaned his workshop, letting go of broken things he had kept without reason. He began choosing his days instead of enduring them. One afternoon, a young man asked if he could learn the craft. The old thought returned quickly. It is too late. The man looked at his hands. He thought of the boy by the bridge. He thought of the mornings by the river. He nodded. Teaching was slow. It tested his patience, but as he guided the young man's hands, something inside him softened. He understood then that time does not lose its value because it is past. Time gains meaning through what we choose to do with what remains. The village did not change overnight, but the man did. He listened more carefully. He spoke with intention. He began repairing more than tools. He was repairing his relationship with himself. One evening, as the sun settled low, he stopped on the familiar path and watched the sky darken gently. For the first time, he did not feel rushed. He felt present. He felt alive. He understood then that learning late is still learning. Beginning late is still a beginning. Life had not closed its door. He had only stopped knocking. From that day on, he lived quietly but deliberately. He respected his time, his effort, and his worth. He no longer waited for permission to live fully. He was just a man, and he learned at last that as long as there is breath, it is never too late to change. If this story spoke to you, share in the comments what part of life you feel it's not too late to begin. Thanks for being here.